Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Business Shout Out Live. I'm Jovan Walker, and I'm excited to have a very, very special guest on tonight. We're going to be talking about um, keys and powers, and we have Ajah Doswell with us to discuss all the amazing things that Keys and Powers has going on, being rooted in Baltimore, Maryland, and everything that they offer for the community, the passion, the mission behind what they do, and just where they're going with that, and learning more about how you can be involved as well. So, thank you, Ajah, for coming in.
Wonderful. Thank you. I'm so excited. This is my first one for the year. I like that. Like I could still use that for some things. It's still fresh.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm so excited to have you. So, tell us a little bit about yourself. Why don't you?
So my name is Ajah Doswell. I'm from Baltimore, Maryland. I am a licensed social worker. I used to practice in family therapy, school-based therapy, community-based therapy, foster care, independent living, group home, the whole family and community prospect. And currently, I function as the CFO, the clinical program strategist, which is a fancy word for program director and manager. And we'll talk about that too because that's important. And the CFO and manager. So pretty much anything that comes into the organization that pertains to money, functioning, programmatic, consumer services, I'm the person who has my hands in it.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So, tell me what was the reason behind starting Keys and Powers?
So actually, I was brought on as a staff member for the for-profit company Keys Development, and then through the work that we did through behavioral health, the nonprofit formed itself, recognizing that everyone doesn't align with the notion of mental health. But may necessarily need the supports that come with mental health. We found a way to support families without making it about it being about an illness. And so since 2017, we have been providing barrier removal assistance, which is providing the means to make a living, one, two, to be able to provide for oneself in terms of their living, sleeping, quality of life things. And then also looking at the fact that we have trauma that we don't have language for and trying to find a way to express that. So we specialize in non linguistic approaches to healing.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. So, in the years that you've had Keys and Powers, how much impact have you made in the city?
So impact comes in levels. And sometimes that's a trick question because what you deem to be impactful may not be impactful, or it may not be what your funders or the people who are providing the financial support to your organization want to see. So we measure impact on a couple of levels. The biggest one is being you keep coming back. Normally when you have a good service or you enjoy something, you keep coming back. So to have people who show up in our school-based program, our community-based program, our college tours, our college fairs, our drug support program, our loss and grief classes, you get to see that people really like what you have. And so they show up in a lot of different capacities. The other one is the length of time that they're with you. Some
Mhm.
people come in and get one service. Some people come in and get 8 services in 2 months. Some people come in and get one service a year, but they come back annually. So that's another way to look at, well, they keep coming back and they clearly like what we have. And they've even provided input in surveys. Hey, we ain't like this and you need to take it out. Okay, I could take that out. Or, hey, we really want to see more of this. Can you put more of it in? I didn't even know we were giving you that. Let me go find out how I can. So it's making sure that you're looking at it from both a qualitative in terms of does it feel good? Does it look good? Does it smell good? And a quantity, how many people are we engaging type of perspective.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. So, I know you do a little bit of everything for the community. Which, in terms of all the pockets in which you guys operate, which one do you believe you kind of thrive in the most, if you will, or in terms of the support side?
It's changed over the years.
Mhm.
Before it was being the boots on the ground, steadfast, everything we put up. I'm gonna be the first person in line because that's leadership. to now wanting to make sure that the story that's being narrated is accurately being told, because the language that you're using is not depictive of our experiences. And can I make sure that when you speak about me, it's reflective of what I'm doing?
Mhm,
So I kind of allow myself to grow through that, because I'm working with people and I'm working with systems, and they change.
mhm.
Politics changes things, policy changes things, new administration coming in changes things. And we don't really give enough credit to that loss, grief, and process. So I think it really just depends upon what I'm passionate for at the time, and that's how it will show up in the work that we do.
Okay. Okay. So no, that's good. So in terms of, because I I heard passion. It's important.
Yes.
Um, as I think about just thinking about entrepreneurship in general, I made a post earlier that said everybody, entrepreneurship is not for everybody, but I was really
No.
like everybody shouldn't do entrepreneurship. That was really my thought. So when it comes to this movement that you have, what would you say is, I mean, and you're passionate about it or whatever, but in the midst of this, like it's a challenge at times. What would you say is your biggest way of getting through those challenges in terms of entrepreneurship, in terms of navigating through the good, the bad, and
Hmm.
absolute ratchet, like what is it?
So one is that the government looks at us as entities and properties, and they capitalize off of us, which is why we have a social security number and pay taxes. And you can even get an EIN, which is also understanding that people are businesses. You run on different cylinders, you take different things to get your motor running. How you produce is based on the inputs that are provided to you. And so understanding that when a person works for a company and they give 40 years, I mean, if they give 40 hours, 52 weeks a year over 40 years, that feels like a commitment. Like, you owe me, I want my pension, I want my benefits. And
Mhm,
it doesn't really become a place where you see growth or the ability to move or do that. So when we started this, it was taking people on only as 1099s instead of W-2s. If I treat you and respect you like a business, then I can uphold my contractual obligations better. But if I give you a job description and bring you on as a W-2, but we're short staffed and you're picking up other people's job duties, I can't come at you about not fulfilling your job duties when you're doing everybody else's job. You
mhm,
being a 1099 is, I'm hiring you as a company to do the thing that you want to do the way that you want to do it. And now I don't have to micromanage. I don't have to put those other constraints on some of those relationships. I just had a call now that someone was trying to figure out how to terminate a W-2 staff. And I was like, I don't know, because you really don't have just cause, and laziness is not really a cause for termination. But I'm like, is the person lazy, or is it that they really don't find fulfillment in their job,
mhm,
and therefore they're not able to produce? And that's the thing. You got to know when you've outgrown the thing you're doing. Clinical program strategist, which goes to the beginning. I was tired of being called a program director or a program manager. No, I'm not doing that. I'm using my clinical hat to strategically plan for the programs that we implement, because it's not just me putting it together and pulling trash out of my pocket. It's me looking at what is the end game for them coming into culinary therapy and cooking with a therapist and a chef, to be able to learn to talk about families at dinner time with mom and dad who don't even have the ability to see me off to bed at night, but they come on here one time a week to be able to enjoy this. That's what this is about. So it's okay to relabel your title. You don't have to be the CFO. You don't have to be the CEO. You can name yourself whatever you want. And if people don't like it, oh well, it gets you out of bed. It makes you want to do your job. And at the end of the day, you are a business, aren't you? Why wouldn't you be manipulating how you move to benefit you at this point? I'm retired. I ain't punching no more clocks. I ain't working for nobody but myself and the Lord. And he gonna let me know where he want me to work and how I'm supposed to show up.
mhm.
Outside of that, I don't know what to tell you.
We heard it here.
I don't know.
It's- but listen, what you just shared was like true life, like leadership side, because of course you got a number of people that are just starting off, even if they're just starting in they're a nonprofit organization. It's just them trying to do all this work and all that stuff in terms of like they don't know what to do, right? So you shared the whole aspect of 1099s. Can you kind of share a little bit more in terms of like why that's important for, especially if you think about like nonprofit and how people are bootstrapping?
Hmm.
How does that work, if you will?
So the biggest thing, and be clear, 1099 is not for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
1099 for me works better for organizations who work with people and understand that people are not a 9 to 5 business. Crisis is not going to happen at 9:01 and end at 4:59. It's going to happen at 5:02 while you're getting in your car. And now you have to figure out what's going to happen. But why did I need to get that 8 hours out of you when they weren't required, when I'm going to need the next 24 hours from you? So it's recognizing, do you really need to hold a schedule for this person or this position? And can they maneuver the way that it needs to, which is again why I'm hiring a business. So it's a subcontractor,
Mm-hmm.
essentially. And so now that person gets the call, they handle their business within the agreement of the contract, not the job description,
Mm-hmm.
and then it allows it to go. But the other part of that is that when I don't need to give you your job description, I want you to tell me what you want to do. Because at least if I know what you're good at and what you enjoy, you're more likely to do it longer and better
Yeah.
versus me giving you something that you don't enjoy. You're gonna be like, I ain't really doing this, or she ain't gonna get that report on time, or it's frustrating. And that's the thing, we're not in that way of life anymore. You can't tell me who I am. I can show you who I can be.
Yeah.
Give me the space.
Yeah. I love that. I love that approach. See, you just brought a whole whole new mindset to the conversation about, whoa, wait a minute. You brought a whole new mindset to a conversation about the entrepreneurship side, about the leadership aspect, and as well as operation.
Hmm.
So, in terms of operation, let's go in there real quick. What if you're just talking to somebody just starting off as a in their nonprofit organization? What are some three things you could share as it pertains to how they should function or develop their level of operation?
Well, the first one is the transparency. You have to know the people around you. You cannot create something from nothing by giving something out. So if you asking your friend and they want to check, that is not the person for you. As a nonprofit, and be clear, it's not that nonprofits aren't about making money. Nonprofits generate a lot of money, and they're actually eligible for way more money than for profits in the federal grant writing world. The difference is that you have to zero out at the end of the year. So every penny you get, you have to spend. That's why it's not for profit, which means that when we give you what we're saying we're paying for, we're zeroing it out on the other side.
Mm,
Versus for profit, if I say I'm charging you this, I'm going to make my cut off of it. And then that's just going to be what it is. It's even board. And so within that, it's looking at your board. Your board is going to be who makes the determining factors for what happens going forward. Are they going to be the working board, who are the people that are like you and we can all get up and go put this mission to work and do the things to become who we are in the community? And that's how we started. Now we're a more of a organizational board, which is where we're doing more of the functional capacities in the community and not as much as the boots to the ground work, because we outsource what we do to go to other people. So it's like you have to look to see that as this grows, the organization is going to grow. Also, the people that you want to bring in may not be the people who need to be here, because a check should not be the requirement, doing the work should be. And the biggest part is let your staff hire the people they want to work with. I don't work with my staff. My staff has to work with me. So if you're going to pick somebody to be on your team, another business, you're going to want to go get a business that's going to make you look good, make your work easier. Don't hire your friend because they need a job, but you know that they lazy. That's not a good business to bring on. And it's actually going to make your work a lot harder. And so those have been trials and tribulations that my team have had. That's like, I really made a mistake by doing that. And I'm like, well, it didn't cost you but so much other than a friendship, which sucks. But it's also understanding they came in as a business and they did not meet their contractual obligations. We
mm,
don't have to give anything more than a 2 week notice.
mhm.
Transition happens quickly.
in Switzerland. Yeah, yeah, yeah. This good. Okay. Good. All right. This is more than I even thought it was gonna be today. So no, this it's always a pleasure to hear when you talk about the nonprofit side, when you talk about business in general, because whatever you're saying today, like actually can apply to every aspect of whatever anybody decides they want to do. If you selling a product, you selling water on the corner,
You
like
are the product.
that part.
Business is personal.
It's
People with that whole notion of no, 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 no. Let me tell you why it's personal. You don't hire people in terms of who's personal to you, like your mama, your daddy, your nephew.
right.
You hire what's personal to you because it protects you. This is your baby that you're growing. This organization has to have legs and feet that are already rooted in the next two generations to come, which is why we're getting a 30,000 square foot building built on Coppins campus, because this is something that needs to be here and erected for years and years and years to come, because we need a place to anchor as community. And we've had that through our oral traditions. We're losing that now. So we're at the point where we got to kind of go back to brick and mortar to bring the people in, to tell the story that needs to be told, to keep the song alive. But the question is, do people want to be alive? If you are on this call, there's a reason that you're here and you got some decisions to make, and it's okay to make them. This ain't about who you gonna piss off. It ain't about who's gonna like you when you done. It's not about whose dreams you stole. It's about the fact that you have the drive, the tenacity, the build, the want, and the hunger to get through something, to be able to see it through. And if another person happened to come up with the idea, oh well, you do not see Ford beefing with Tesla.
Come on. Never.
You don't go in a bread aisle and see one type of bread. So don't let the enviness of people, and be clear, envy is not why you, envy is why not me. Why don't I have the skills, the support, the tenacity, the hunger, the develop? Because that ain't your thing and you lying to yourself. So do the thing that feeds you well. And a lot of you right now is starving. Pick up your plate, baby, and your chin. I'm sorry. Do what
All of
serves
it.
you.
This is beautiful. Okay, so hold on. What else you got to tell us? Because listen, I can just let you just take the mic for real, because you having a level of empowering people that, and you know this, like you have this like amazing ability to empower people in understanding where they are, and then at the same time like recognizing their potential and where they could literally go and how they can think of where they go. So in this particular segment here, you just said, you just dropped a whole bomb about this plate, pick up your chin, all that. Beautiful. Okay. Outstanding. Tell us more about how, if someone, because this has seemed like it's in some instances for some people, this can be a tough season. 2023 has been, listen, we know, okay? And then some people might still be experiencing some of the challenges that they experienced in 2023. I was just talking to somebody the other day about how people are leaving their apartments to go back with their parents. It's a lot of different things happening, right?
Mm-hmm.
Situation is challenging. So, what are some insights you would share? Because this is even for entrepreneurs too. Like, what types of insights would you share with those that, they do need to pick up the chin? They just don't know how.
Well, the first one is allow some help because it's heavy. Like, people fail to realize how heavy things are. Trying to pick your chin up is literally now everything that you were not prepared to have at the bottom of your jaw that you are trying to lift. And it's okay to be lifted. Like, you cannot work in silos. For a
Mhm.
very, very long time, we have tried to keep our work away from us because we've been envious of people stealing. It's not about that. Let's do it as collaboration. The more you lift, the less I have to. And the more I lift, the less you have to. So if we're given even kill, even at different times, we still allow the work to be done in that manner. And that is the thing that we have to start doing. Start going into these think tank sessions. That is what the millennials have that we don't. We're coming from the generation of me, mine, and mine. We're past that point. That's why they're okay with going home, because they can't afford to live, because they really do not have the ability to live. It takes 3 times your income, and the average minimum wage throughout the entire US is less than $12 per hour. But the average living needed is over $22. What?
It
Who
ain't massive.
who makes the So
Mm-hmm.
when you understand that bartering, what is it, transferring of services is way more important. My last quarter of the year was horrible for my company. I was owed thousands of hundreds by the state of Maryland. And at this particular juncture, I'm clear. I don't know when I'm going to get my money, but I'm clear my doors are still open. I'm clear that my staff is still coming to work. I'm clear that they're aware of everything that's going on and every step that's being taken, so that they can make an informed decision about themselves, about whether or not they can continue to show up to work. I don't get to take those things from people. So give the leadership that you would want. Don't sit and do things that you wouldn't want anybody to do to you. And some of that, because remember, heavy is the head who wears the crown. You
Mm-hmm.
become the mouthpiece. You become the system that's perpetuating the things that you're fighting against. And you can either stand with it or you can stand against it. But how you do it is going to depend about how you show up in your org, to your people, and to yourself.
Good. Thank you for that. That was so okay. All right. So those of you who've been watching in, listen, comment. I saw somebody said it was a word for whatever you said. I know it was a lot. Whatever you just said, it was a word. So
No,
shout
give me
out to
back.
you for that. Uh-oh, are you here?
Wait a minute.
We have a
No,
technical issues.
what
Can you hear
happened?
me?
I'm back. Oh, am I back?
Yeah, you're back.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay. All right. So I'm glad you're here. All right. So just for those of viewing, those that didn't catch it from the beginning, if you're watching a replay and you heard the whole thing, listen, take this and listen to it a few times, honestly, because no matter where you are, especially if you are in entrepreneurship space or business space or what have you, where no matter where you are in that, there's a lot of nuggets to have taken from this. Even if you're not an entrepreneur and you're just trying to determine what you're doing within your career or within your life as a whole, these same things that she shared today can literally be applied to life in every situation. You got kids, you got a husband, you got a wife, whatever the case may be. Even each little gem is literally applicable to all of those buckets. So take this as a moment of like breathing. Take this as a moment of empowerment, recognizing that it's the whole emotion of the person, recognizing it's the whole mind, the body, the soul aspect of it. And I think, in terms of keys and powers and self, y'all take care of all of that. Like, you do. And that's why it's so easy for you to talk about it and be it, because you embody it. Oh, as I think about this, because you embody it, you embody what the brand is about. And many people don't understand like embodying the brand.
Mm,
They just, like, oh, I'm just trying to sell this. No, when you are the brand,
yeah.
it makes it easier. It makes the passion for it to thrive. So,
So you just explained why you shouldn't be doing work that doesn't serve you. If I
yeah.
am the product and I'm the thing that's being sold, why am I hustling a product that I don't believe in?
Mm-hmm.
It's for a paycheck? I'm sorry. There's other things I could do with my time that would not deal with this level of agony.
Yep. Yep. So make decisions, y'all. Make some sound decisions. If you're interested in knowing more about keys and powers, um, even giving towards keys and powers, what are some things that keys and powers needs right now?
Um, we're getting ready to make a request. We are at the point where, see, it's this goes with the imposter syndrome. So for all y'all imposters out there, hey, I see y'all. Let me go ahead and call y'all out, because I don't sit in that chair anymore. The imposter syndrome is that I don't have what I need.
Mm-hmm.
But the real imposter syndrome is I have what I need and I don't know how to use it.
Mm.
And so I have learned, do not make the request until you can be clear on what the request is. And through this growth process, I am at the point where I know what the request is going to be, because then I can give navigation.
Mhm.
Without that, it's just like, good luck. Thank you for trying. But by then, you pissed off and angry. You tried to, nope, nope, nope. I'm going to let you know when I need it. But remember when I ask, I'm going to remember this here. Like, it's, and people find joy in that. I see you came back. I sure did, because I knew where you was. Little things.
Just
Little things.
okay. So defining your request. Okay. Got it. Okay. So you're on social media. What platforms altogether?
Listen, let me tell y'all something about me. I'm an empath. I do not have time for the people, the mama, or the drama. Okay. So I have a profile. It comes up under Ajah Doswell. We do have a page, Keys and Powers on Instagram, Keys and Powers on Facebook, that our media person handles. If you want me directly, I will give you my email or my phone number, and you can text me, because I'm a person who deals with people. I don't want no facade. I want to hear your inflection in your voice. I want to be able to hear those tears swelling up in your eyes. I want to be able to hear that grin climb across your face. I am a person who thrives on engaging with people. So if that's what you're looking for, I just got my LinkedIn updated. Kudos to you if you went and go to look, because it was up. It was not like that a week ago. So yay to Nori. So if there's something that you need, Jovan and I are getting ready to have a series of trainings coming out on Eventbrite that are really going to get you all the materials to help you navigate this world that you're walking into. I actually leave tomorrow for a federal grant writing course in San Antonio, so that we can get some of these nuggets and be able to get in on some of these gold mines. So just stick around. We're recalibrating and rebooting, but the biggest part is we here now. So do what you're going to
Thank you.
do
You
anytime.
you heard it here, folks. Listen, this is the Asia Doswell, the most empowering, impactful, amazing, outstanding, illustrious, well spoken, articulate in all things amazing. Listen, this is her. This is she. This is what she does. Um, and also, I didn't really talk about this. We work together. Okay. So in terms of like grants and all that stuff, if you ever wanted to learn more in terms of what you needed to do, building out those data, this is a data bank right here. Okay. Data collector. I thought I worked fast, did not know anybody that did it like she does. And it's a beautiful thing. It like literally gets me motivated, like, oh, thank God. Like, I'm not the only one. So, but honestly, if you ever are in a place of like, hey, I need to know how to develop my nonprofit, I need to know how to write out these grants, this really is the gym right here.
We're working on it.
So
We're getting there.
reach out to us, and watch things happen in the manner that they are supposed to for you. As long as you're ready, willing, and able, let's take this trip. Let's take this trip, y'all. So, for those of you who have watched this and you really enjoyed it, hopefully you watched the whole thing. Um, I would love for you to reach out if you're interested in being a business spotlight, having a whole session. Reach out to me, inbox me, DM me, or what have you. I'll send you the information for that. If you're wanting to learn more about, okay, she said something about federal grants. I need money. Listen, let's come talk. Follow us in the DM, reach out, and we will drive you to the right direction. Okay. Okay. So thanks again, all of those who joined in. Thank you, Asia, for being on.
Always. Y'all gonna be seeing more of me. Watch. We're gonna have a ball.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. 2024 is all the way up. Yeah, all the way up. All right. So thanks all. Talk to you all soon, and God bless.
Have a good one.